welcome back to another episode of NFT Artist Spotlight, hosted by AstroZero. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks.
Today on our Twitter Spaces, we have a very special guest, creator of a really unique NFT project called Zodiac NFTs. Rob and Isaac, welcome. How you guys doing today?
What's up?
Awesome.
Doing amazing, man. Doing amazing. Excited.
So can you give us a little bit of background about yourselves, how you guys got into NFTs, and what the inspiration behind your project is?
Yeah, Isaac, how about you go first and kind of tell your story, and that'll get us started, and then end off where you connected with me, and then I'll go from there.
I don't hear you, Isaac.
Okay. We might have...
Let me mute and unmute real quick. All right, go ahead, try now.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. He's still gone. We were on a team call a minute ago, and he kept cutting in and out, so he might get better reception a little bit later on.
All right.
So yeah, so for me, I'll just go ahead and go now. I was going to have him tell a story because, Isaac, the way we got started on this project is Isaac seen me posting about NFTs and crypto and whatnot. I got into investing. Kind of, I shouldn't say heavily, but just heavily interested in investing and heavily interested in learning. I'm one of those guys to get into something and just kind of go all in on it. And so got into crypto, started talking about it all on Facebook. And so Isaac hit me up and said, Robert, I always see you talking about these NFT things. Like, look at my art. This is what I can do. Let's come up with a project. And the reason why Isaac hit me up is because we've been connected for, 5 or 6 years now on Facebook through social media. And he's watched my journey as an entrepreneur. I've launched multiple 7-figure companies in e-commerce and SaaS and info products. I've done well in real estate investing, and then got into crypto and NFT investing. He's kind of followed that journey, and if anybody could, from his perspective, I'm telling his perspective of not pump myself up. But if anybody could get a project off the ground or take an artist and create an NFT and make it successful, Isaac felt that I could, and that's why he hit me up. With that being said, Isaac is an amazing artist, and I would not. I had so many people hit me up. Still do daily. Hit me up about getting into a project, and I refuse to work with anybody else because Isaac is just amazing talent. He's got amazing dedication, and so that's where we got started. We planned on launching this in like 2 weeks. We've been about going on 4 months into it now, and I still don't have a launch date, but we are selling some of our Genesis, and we've developed the plan. We've completely morphed it into something just absolutely amazing. And I just got off a 2-hour team call telling this team about exciting stuff that we want to share some of it with you here today, but really cool stuff ahead. Isaac, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back on now. For some reason, I couldn't hear anybody. I would keep talking and nobody would respond, so I just left and came back on.
Yeah, Twitter Spaces acts up, so that probably just rugged your perspective. All right, so you want to give a little bit of your background, Isaac?
Yeah. I was saying that I've been an artist my whole life. I've always just loved expression, man, period. And I think I was telling you that I was collecting the Alien, the Ridley Scott Aliens. I really, really loved the design by H.R. Giger. And I was so fascinated by it that I told my wife like 3 years ago, I was like, you know what, I wish I could just create my own. Because I would always draw them as a kid. And then I started collecting the actual sculptures, the toys by NECA. And eventually my wife, she ended up buying me all kinds of sculpting tools and stuff and clay. And one of my first sculptures, it was a full body sculpture. It was an actual alien, and so many people were blown by it. And I had only had probably 2 months or 3 months experience into when I created this thing. And that's kind of when I realized, you know what, I need to be doing more sculptures. And for 3 years, I just did sculpting, man, and sold a couple of stuff here and there. And eventually, I think it was like 7 months ago, about to be 8 months ago now, I jumped into the digital space because I saw what was happening in the NFT world, and I was like, you know what, this is really huge, and I want to be able to create, more freely as well, because there's a lot of limitations with traditional sculpting, and not downing it at all. I love it, man. It's something I still want to keep doing as well. But I wanted to create something, without where there would be less limitations, and be able to create things freely. So I jumped into the NFT space and started digitally sculpting, and it was like 7 months ago, and I told myself I want to create something so good that it'll catch somebody's attention. And I invested into myself. I bought myself a digital drawing tablet and a computer, and I almost didn't do it. I almost bought a PS5, and that was like one of my choices that I was telling my wife. I was like, I really want to buy a PS5, and I'm so happy I didn't, because I told myself, you know what, it's better to invest in myself and to actually develop a skill that is, that is marketable, that is really good, and I always was somebody who loves attention, like attention to detail, man. Who loves attention to detail, and that's something that I focused on. I was like, I want to create things that have detail, that have depth, that really can catch somebody's attention, and do it with all my heart and soul. So I ended up telling my wife I'm gonna create something that's gonna catch somebody's attention. I know it's gonna be so cool, and I was sculpting a biblical cherubim. It's a creature that has 4 wings, and it has a human head, a ox's head, a lion's head, and an eagle. And I remember I was scrolling through Facebook, and Robert was actually there. He was talking about NFTs, and I had already been just diving into the space, learning about it. And so I commented on his post, and I told him, dude, this is my art. This is what I do. I'm a digital artist. I'm so excited for the future. And instantly we connected, man. We got on together, and we started talking about coming up with ideas, what we can do. I asked him, how can I jump into the space? And here we are now, man. It's crazy. I've busted my butt off like day and night, just creating unique sculptures, and spent, like I said, countless hours on YouTube tutorials just teaching myself to develop this skill. And but yeah, that's basically how we got to this point, man.
For everybody that's requesting to speak, I'm going to open it up to the floor in about 15 or 20 minutes. So just please be patient with us. What made you guys decide on doing an astrology-based project with Zodiac with Zodiac signs?
So one of the things, like I said earlier, is that I want to make things that really connect to people. And I had told Robert that, and he was like, you know what? We were thinking about different ideas, and I was, one of the first things that I thought about was aliens, because I really love aliens. But I was like, I want to make something as well that does connect with everybody. And then one of the options that popped up was the Zodiacs, and I know so many people connect to that, on a whole deeper level. I mean, everywhere I go, somebody sometimes asks me, like, what's your sign? What's your Zodiac sign? So that's something that we decided to do. Jump into something that really can connect to people, and that, to me, it adds just another layer of connection. You have these sculptures that are detailed, and that gets people's attention, and then now we have the Zodiac, which also makes it even a whole different layer of connection.
Yeah, I don't know if I've been watching too much true crime stuff lately, but when I first saw your project, the first thing I thought of was the Zodiac Killer, and I don't know why that popped in my head, but I was thinking to myself,
Yeah.
all right, well, this is kind of interesting. It's something like right down my alley. And
You know what's so
Yeah.
fun?
either way,
You're not the first person to say that. I swear, you're literally not. Someone in our Discord said he got in there because he thought that's what it was about. I don't know if you remember that, Isaac, but that legit happened.
Legit. I remember that. He was like, dude, is this anything to do with the Zodiac
So
Killer?
let me
like,
talk
no.
about that real quick, because this is actually really important to really really dive deep in. So we just had a 2-hour team meeting about this, that make sure the team, because we're taking a very pivotal move right now after this event that we just went through, and our long-term roadmap is that we are building travel and tourism in the metaverse. People travel to Vegas, people travel to New York, they travel to Dubai, Miami, all these major hotspots, and they go there for travel and tourism. And so that is what we ultimately want to create in the metaverse. We want to be the city of the metaverse. Now, I have a name picked out. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's going to be the city of the metaverse, and we're going to be the place that people want to travel. So we asked ourselves, how the hell are we going to get there? Okay. Now, we didn't start off with this plan. This is what it morphed into, but then it became this plan, and we had to figure out all this on the way. And so, earlier I said it started off with like a 2-week plan for a project, and it's morphed into, now we're months into this, or probably about pulling, some major billionaire investments and some not $1 billion investments, but billionaire investments, and working with some A-list celebrity type stuff. I mean, this is stuff that we're working on right now. Huge difference from just throwing up some Zodiac art. Okay, and I say that because our project Zodiac, our goal was to show that we wanted to create a high-end experience in the metaverse. We weren't just simply creating a 2D graphic, which is cool. I mean, I love NFTs. I love the history of NFTs. I love the punks. I love the apes. I love what this is about. But that's the history of NFTs. It's not where NFTs need to stay. NFTs are the things within the future. I don't know if you guys have heard that. DeFi is the banking of the metaverse, and NFTs are the things of the metaverse. Okay, and so that's what we really wanted to show, that this is an experience. Like the metaverse is a real thing. It's an experience. And so we wanted to create this city concept where people come and travel in the metaverse. And so that's what the Meta Museum is about. That's our brand, Meta Museum, Zodiac by Meta Museum. Meta Museum will be a museum of multiple galleries. We will bring in partner galleries, and we'll bring in celebrity galleries. We've been talking about celebrity galleries for a while, but I believe that's coming to a fruition. Some exciting news that we just partnerships that we're in the talks with a really good friend of mine. We should be able to lock in some major celebrities, and we will be able to knock out our second collection, which will be a celebrity gallery. So I say all of that to say this: Zodiac. Sorry, I got my phone. Zodiac is one collection in the big scope of our project, but it's just one project. Or one NFT. We plan to utilize Zodiac as our first collection, our premier collection, to establish ourselves as the maker of high-end art and metaverse experiences. And we've done that with a great website. We have AR features already built into our gallery, where we could take our NFT and you could take it anywhere. If you go to France, you could take a picture next to the Eiffel Tower and you're Leo. You know, if you go to the beach, you could do the same thing. No matter where you go, you could take your Zodiac with you and take a picture of it in AR. We're creating real life experiences. And so Zodiac was just to get the launch, to get the eyes on us, saying, hey, these guys got something going on here. So I'm glad you asked that question. It's a very, very important question. And people ask me all the time when I tell them our plan of building travel and tourism in the metaverse, like, what the hell does astrology have to do with this? And it has absolutely nothing to do with it, except giving Isaac the ability to create amazing art, which he has.
It makes total sense, because if the main goal is to have an auction house and a museum, you can't open a store with no merchandise. So you would need
Correct.
sort of Genesis collection in order to be a feature focal point of it. So it makes
Correct.
total sense to me.
Yes.
Now, are you guys going to set up like metaverse galleries where other artists could come in and let's say we'll just make up a penguin punks. All right, I make
Mhm.
penguin punks. Can I approach you and say, hey, I want to put my penguin punks in your museum, and then people could purchase my penguin punks through your museum?
Yes. So this is a major part of our plan, actually. Hold on, I'm trying to share this link real quick so people could come here. But yeah, this is actually a major part of our plan. So we went to the Decentralcon event this last week, and I was talking to a guy that has a project called Treat DAO. Good project. Look it up. You might want to work with them and interview them. They have it's kind of like an OnlyFans of the metaverse, and the content, the videos and images are NFTs, and the creators are paid out in Ethereum. No, in whatever the coin is. I forget what it is. And so, anyways, I was talking to this guy about our project, and the first thing he asked me after I told him what we were doing, he says, "So you could build a red light district there?" And I was like, hell yeah, dude, you freaking get it, right? Because that's exactly what it is that we want to do, what we will do in our city. We're not going to just, we're launching the Meta Museum, but inside of our museum, we're going to sell land for people to create their own galleries. We have a partner, well, actually, that's a different one. I won't go there yet, but inside of our Meta Museum, we're selling land, and that will be a new gallery. We'll set up a new gallery, and that will create the museum. That's ultimately going to be our NFTs later on, is the land. We're going to be selling our land. Around our Meta Museum, we'll be selling land too. There's projects that I'm following. There's one that's a roller coaster or a amusement park project. There's another one that's a camping project. There's another one that's a hunting and fishing project. These are the type of people we want to partner with to sell land within our metaverse. And then I have a buddy that's launching one that's a live streaming project. Another one you guys might want to interview. They are launching a live streaming project that's going to be an events an events venue in the metaverse. So they're going to buy land. He's give me a verbal yes today. They're going to buy land. They're our first official partner that's going to buy land in our city and do their events there. And he has major players in the event world. Major players in the event world are going to hold their events there. So that is exactly what we're going to do. Not only that, but in our Meta Museum, we're going to allow people to sell their NFTs. Right? That might have been your specific question. But they'll be able to come in there, set up their gallery, set up their stores, set up whatever. Like Nike will be able to come in and set up a shop there. And maybe not in our Meta Museum, but in our city. And they'll be able to sell their NFTs right inside of their stores. In our auction, we'll have an auction house. They'll be able to sell their NFTs right inside of our auction house with a live auctioneer. Yes, 100% sure that is the plan.
Okay, so I see that you have a relatively large team here working on it. You have your own blockchain developer. As far as the metaverse goes that you guys are going to be creating, are you going to do an in-house metaverse, or are you going to be based off of some platform like Sandbox or Decentraland, or what are you doing as far as that goes?
Yeah, we're gonna do it all. I mean, part of our Genesis roadmap is to buy land in Decentraland. We already have the gallery built out. I believe it's 12-story gallery. No, I forget. But he's got it built out with each story being a different Zodiac. So you go on there and have a different experience. We already have it built out. We're just waiting to close our Genesis collection, and then we're gonna buy the Decentraland land. Is the plan, as long as the shit doesn't keep on going up in price. But that definitely, we're gonna go into Sandbox. We're gonna go into all of these networks. We're gonna buy our land. Because we have to be a part. We have to be everywhere. It's about showmanship in this world. We are going to be a major player, and so we have to go in there and play our part. However, with that, we are also going to build our own metaverse. One person that we're talking to right now they work with billionaires. That's actually where a part of our funding is most likely going to come from. Is from a company that builds everything from the ground up. I mean, AI to, literally every single thing you could freaking imagine in tech. They've done it at the $1 billion level. And I just talked to them just a couple days ago, and they want to work with us. So we're gonna come out swinging when we come out with our Meta Museum and our city. I mean, it's gonna be it is the ultimate experience, and they will be buying land in our city. It's gonna be the place to be.
What's the total amount of Zodiacs that you guys are going to be producing?
Yes, with Zodiac, we are going to launch a collection of 9,324, which there are 12 Zodiacs, and we're going to launch 777 of each of the 12. So that's 9,324.
Okay, are you building royalties into this, and is that going to be reinvested in the project?
Although the answer is yes, I'm going to say for legal reasons, no. We are going to, and I have to change this. Royalties gets us into the area of securities, and I don't want to say this in anywhere live. We're taking our shares, all of our revenue, and I just want to be careful how I say this. We're taking all of that and we're giving it back to our holders in the form of marketing commissions. So you'll be required as a holder to share at least one time on Twitter. It will be tracked on the chain by logging into Twitter and logging into your MetaMask account. It'll be tracked, and by doing that, by just sharing one time, you will receive marketing commissions, which will be 40% of revenue shared back to our community.
All right, awesome. So going back to your Meta Museum, now it says that you're going to have a meetup eventually in Vegas, and people are going to be able to put on VR headsets and actually be able to cruise through the museum themselves. That's correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, have you teamed up with any hardware companies as far as VR goes to make some sort of partnership that way?
Not solidified, but yes, in the conversation. The tech guy that I just talked about. I mean, these guys are the guys that where you ask that kind of question and they like pat you on the head and said, "Come on, young lad," type thing. I mean, they're like the big players in tech. They lay the foundation for this type of stuff. So he's going to help us out a lot. I mean, he wants to work on our project. As far as VR, there's a ton of technology out there. It's nothing new. So we're well funded and it's old technology, so there won't be any issues bringing it about.
All right, can we talk a little bit? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We just made another connection this last week. Person that has a cutting edge, I should say, VR technology. there's like Oculus, a bunch of other programs out there, but there's people that are coming out with some new stuff that is unheard of, and we just met her this last week as well, and conversation there. So there's a lot of opportunities. We're gonna do the best option. We're not gonna limit ourselves to anything out there. Most likely not something like Oculus. It's gonna be way more profound than that.
Is everything in the Meta Museum going to be 3D rendered, or are you also going to have 2D rendered projects from other people?
Probably accept 2D renderings of or 3D renderings of 2D art. So it'll be like in a 3D frame, so to speak.
Okay, so you have some sort of technology or some way to convert something a 2D, let's say pixel art into a 3-dimensional type piece of art.
Yeah, no, you did like what Decentraland does. You just take the 2D art and you put it into a 3D frame. I mean, it's like easy. It's the same. I mean, it's like entry level of what Isaac does, creating the 3D art, and then just using a couple lines of code that puts that places the 2D art on top of that. So it's not very complicated at all. So
what are some benefits that somebody that purchases one of your Zodiacs is going to receive for holding on to one?
Yeah. So one of the main benefits is the kickback in revenues. However we term that. We've had some people that come in to buy our Genesis. That's what they love the most. That's the biggest thing that they love. We've sold 17 of our 36 Genesis at 1 to 2 Ethereum a piece, and now we're pushing the floor above 2 Ethereum. So people that's the level that they're buying at, and they're buying with the intention to hold. And I say that to tell you that. So when I answer your question, what's the benefits? The main benefit is they want that money, that long-term revenue. They believe in our project. They believe the project is a long-term project. They're not really into it to flip, although they can make money flipping. They want to hold it to get that revenue share. In addition to that, you'll be involved with pre-launches of other projects, whitelists of other projects. So we almost have, solid locked in the celebrity galleries. And I'm just going to name one name. I shouldn't, but we'll talk about people like the level of Jennifer Lopez. I want to be careful how I say that. The level of Jennifer Lopez, the level of Jay-Z, that level of people. Okay, and you can read between the lines what I mean by that. But anyways, these people are going to come in, and that's our celebrity gallery. That's going to be in Vegas. That's what we're pushing to put in Vegas. That celebrity gallery. So when people have when we talk about that, when you ask me what's the benefit of the holders, the money. That's going to be one. And I can't really promise that, but getting in whitelists on the future launches, the long-term projects. If you want to get in, if you've ever wanted to get in early on the early days of anything like Bitcoin or Facebook or any of these things that you're like, damn, I missed that boat. These are your opportunities with these metaverse opportunities. And when people are buying into us, they want to hold. It's for that reason.
What's been your biggest pain point as far as creating this project so far?
There hasn't been any pain points. I don't feel pain. I'm a startup guy. I've created a lot of startups, dozens of 6, 7 figure, and 8 figure companies, and so I've passed pain. I think the biggest pain has been a learning experience for me and Isaac, and it's not a pain. It's actually part of our story. And that is this. Isaac is an artist. He's a sculptor. He didn't tell you this, but he's makes a living. He's a working guy. He's a family working guy, and he makes a living making sculptures for like gravestones and memorials. That's how he got into creating this art. He's a true artist that self-taught himself this, and then got a job out of that. The downside of that is when we got into this project, he created this art to create statues the way he knows how. And he didn't understand the back end side of things. So that part was a learning experience for us, is to learn the technology behind it. It was a hurdle. However, going back to what I was saying a minute ago, all this stuff is doable. It's old technology. We just had to look at what's out there, consider what the options, and we really got through that very easily.
This one's for Isaac. What type of programs are you using in order to make these 3D renderings? Had you for a minute.
He might have to unmute his mic again.
So the auction house, is that something completely separate from your museum?
It's within the museum. So the idea is to only allow high-end art and high-end partnerships to come within our museum and build a gallery. So we'll find a few apes that we'll work with and say, hey, let's build you guys a gallery. Let's work together and create an ape gallery. We'll find cool cats or whatever. We'll create 3D versions of their art and put them into our gallery. And that's the first aspects of it. And so what they'll do is, and not just apes and cool cats, but other respectable projects that have done well, we'll allow them to place their art there. And then we'll have an auction house. Now, ultimately, as we get going, down the road, the auction house we plan on being the 3D marketplace like OpenSea, where people go to buy and sell their 3D art. That will be part of the auction house, but it won't be auction items. We'll have a metaverse auction with a real auctioneer that will really auction off the items in the auction house, but we'll also have a secondary marketplace where you'll just be able to walk around and see, and it'll be more like a shop for these NFTs, for projects that buy land within our Meta museum.
Trying to get you back up here, Isaac, but it's been difficult. So you guys are doing your minting on ETH, right?
Correct.
What made you decide to use ETH as opposed to any other blockchains?
It's what investors love. So Solana was hot for a minute, and everybody was talking about Solana, and then like Immutable X came out, and like everybody was talking about Immutable X, and so we considered all these options. Even just recently, Cardano hit us up at this event and said, "Hey, we need you." They seen our art, and they said, "Hey, we're putting together this beta. We want you guys to be a part of it to launch on Cardano," and they would help push us, which is something we actually may consider for another derivative or something. But we considered it heavily, and ultimately, Ethereum is where the investors are at. It's what people trust. It's what's reliable. And we knew we could count on it. So that was the decision for that.
Yeah, I think with your small collection that you're selling right now, when you're selling them at 1 and 2 ETH, I think that you could actually get away with having the gas prices being high. I don't think it's really something that would be a hindrance to you as opposed to somebody that's doing a startup project.
Correct.
Something for like 0.05 ETH, and then the gas prices are 3 or 4 times the price of the gas itself. So
I agree with that 100%. There's a lot of great platforms out there, a lot of options. A lot of some are good, some are bad. You guys got an amazing platform. We're talking there. We got some discussions out there, but ultimately for what we want to do for laying the foundation, for our big plan, we want investors, we want investment level, we want people that are around for the long term, and we want our floor to skyrocket. So we had to be on something where we can make that happen, where it's been proven that it could happen, and so that's why we chose ETH for this main collection and main launch.
These Twitter spaces are not liking you right now, Isaac. I keep trying to bring you up here.
I don't even see him on. Oh, there. No. Oh, yeah, there he is again.
All right. Well, we'll just keep on trucking. So what other projects have your team members worked on? Can you mention any of those?
Yeah, sorry, that was me again. So we have, I don't know, 13 or so or more actual team members, and then we have a lot of partners that. My son's trying to call me. Did I cut out? Can you guys still hear me?
I hear you now.
I think I was able to get Isaac up here. I had to go in and manually do it. It was giving me an error when I tried to accept it.
Are you there, Rob?
Yeah. Sorry, I had a. Yeah. My son kept spam calling me.
Okay.
What was the question? Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's a good question. I don't remember my question.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Oh my goodness. Hold on. All right, we'll jump to a different question then. See, we're very open-ended here. So it says on your right on the first page of your website that you're going to have narrative and stories built into one of your Zodiac. Is that how you're doing it? Is it going to be like a little short story with one? How is that going to work?
Yeah. So we have actually a horoscope. We have stories and we have horoscopes. I think I wonder if Craig's here. Let me scroll down real quick and see if our storyteller, story writer is there. How I don't see him, but maybe he could request the stage if he's here, and maybe he could share a little bit about how that's done. But yeah, basically, we wanted to create an experience, and so with all of our art, whether it be a Zodiac collection or our celebrity collection or all of these, we're gonna have some sort of effects and narrative that goes along with it. And so Zodiac, it's a horoscope. That's what Zodiacs are. They have they have a horoscope, and so each one of our zodiacs has a horoscope, and they're freaking amazing. I am an Aquarius, and I just feel so strong and proud as an Aquarius when I hear it. But not just when I hear Aquarius. If I hear a Scorpio, I want to know all the Scorpios in my life so that I can know them and respect them. And the same thing for a Cancer and Leo and everybody else. I at least listen to the horoscope, and I was like, wow, this is freaking powerful. Like they're so well written, and the soundtracks, the custom soundtracks are so awesome. That you just have a real full on experience. And that was ultimately what we wanted to create. We didn't just want to have art. We wanted to have an experience because that's what we're about. We're creating the ultimate experience in the metaverse.
Who's writing the music for?
All right, I'm back on.
So when we first started this, we brought on some music writers, and we dabbled around with having some music writers in house, and we found it best to just outsource that. And so as of right now, it's outsourced. And I'm not going to name. Actually, I probably couldn't even name the name. That would be Craig, because he actually compiles that whole experience side of things. But yeah, it's outsourced for right now. However, if you know anybody, if there's anybody on this call and anybody listening that is into creating cinematic music, hit me up, because we will definitely have a conversation about it.
I create cinematic music.
Let's do it. Let's have a conversation.
Okay, sounds good. So what type of promotions or giveaways or events do you have planned for the near future?
Oh wow, so much. I mean, giveaways. We're doing $50 a day giveaways. We do giveaways of whitelist spots. We do giveaways of NFTs. We just gave away one of our Genesis, which I just told you is valued at over 2 Ethereum right now. We do. I mean, what do you want? I mean, do you want to? Let's give away something right now. What can we do? What can we do? I mean, how many people are on here? Let's just do a giveaway right now. What can we give your community?
That's completely up to you. We got 40 people in here.
40 people. All right, how about we do this? All of you guys, follow us on follow Zodiac here. Anybody that's watched, I don't even know if these spaces are recorded or whatnot, but anybody who hears this, follow us here, and then go into our Discord and let us know that you came from this space, and I will give you a PO-op and a whitelist spot to our general cell. PO-op will be cool just because this is a cool space. You participate in something super cool, and then the whitelist spot so you can help support our community and be a part of the metaverse experience with us.
That's very awesome of you. So
Okay,
Isaac,
okay. I'm finally back on. My bad, guys. For some reason, when I would try to talk, the microphone would just keep turning back off like every single time.
it's all right.
But
I
you had asked a question earlier. You said, "What program am I using?" And I'm using ZBrush, basically the sculpt. And ZBrush. I don't know if y'all know what ZBrush is, but ZBrush is like one of the most well-known programs that is used when it comes to creating characters for video games and CGI for movies. They actually use that same program to create Godzilla and Godzilla versus King Kong. So it's a pretty badass program, and I knew I needed to learn that program because it's the best. And I use KeyShot for rendering, which is a really great program as well when it comes to rendering.
That's pretty awesome. I don't really know. I'm not very artistic. I'm more of a musician myself, but sure there's people in here that know plenty about it. So here's kind of like an open-ended question. Do you think that in order to stand out in the NFT universe, that you need to have something now that's a little bit more unique, since a lot of the NFT world is kind of getting saturated by so many projects? Do you feel like you need some sort of niche that you could stand out, or do you think that there's still plenty of room for what we have and it's going to continue progressing?
That's a good question. I think, and well, I think that there's still room. There's still room to progress, and I mean, because at the end of the day, art is subjective, but I do think that people truly appreciate effort. I guess that's my thing. Like I feel like there's a lot of art out there, and I'm not downing anybody's art or anything, but I feel like there's some that you can tell the difference where people really put in their heart and their soul into making this look good, and that's been my thing, and that's kind of what I told Robert when I connect with him. I'm like, I really want to create something that stands out, that people can see the passion of the artist, and that's my thing. What I was telling people at the event we were at, I was like, I really want to raise the bar high when it comes to effort, and so yeah, that's just my thing. That and like I said, it's subjective, but I think people really can tell and when a project and when an artist really truly puts their all into what they're creating.
Yeah, I think there's two sides to that coin. I want to expand on one side of it. I mean, I agree with him on both sides. He said both sides, and the one side is there's still a lot of opportunity. The other side is you got to be creative. There's a huge opportunity for just getting some great art up and selling some NFTs, launching them on platform like your guys is, and just making a lot of money and doing it really quickly. You can still do that with just basic 2D art without being very creative, but you need good art. You have to have good art, and that's what Isaac was saying. But if you want to be long term, and if you want to be a player in the metaverse, if you just want to be more than just a cash grab, you got to have a project. You have to have something behind it, and that I think is essential. Is having something substantial and beyond what a lot of other people are doing.
I want to say another thing too, real quick. Something that I've noticed, and because being a 3D artist, I follow so many 3D artists, and it really blows my mind how the majority of them are not creating any NFTs or anything. They don't even, some of them don't even know about it, which just blows my mind. Like I connected with a guy in India. He's one of my favorite artists, and I built a relationship with him, and he literally was like, man, I've just heard about it, but I've never really delved into it. I'm like, dude, your art needs to be seen like this. Your art needs to be put out there like that, and it's valued so much more than what you think, because he puts in I would say he's like probably like 5 or 10 times better than I am. And that's one thing that I kind of also want to do with the Meta Museum, is that I really want to bring in really high quality artists into the Meta Museum, and really shine light on the effort that they put in, and for them to be valued at what they really are, because they put in so much effort in what they do, and that's what I want to do. I mean, me personally, I would love to bring in more artists into the Meta Museum and really shine light on their efforts.
Yeah, so if there's anybody out there, that's a 3D artist, and you do 3D rendering, you don't have to be in ZBrush. You could do Blender or any of these other programs. Hit us up, because Isaac, you pointed out, he's an artist, but we want to bring on other artists. We love to collaborate. We love to work together. We love not just to shine ourselves, but to help other people shine as well.
I think we've secretly been blessed in some crazy way with COVID, where we had to get a little bit more creative with the way we approach things and how we do things. And I think it really, really helped the growth of NFTs. I think the fact that we're stuck in our house and we have to reach out to other people across the globe and collaborate with people we might not have even came in contact with. And what's going on over there?
I have no clue what that is.
What is that, Robert?
It's at we're at I'm back in state prison. No, it's a I think it's an alarm at a tennis court here.
It sounded like a vibrator.
Sure. But definitely not that.
Like what you were saying with India, right? Like this guy in India that you're talking to, it's given us an outlet where we could actually reach out to people that we probably normally wouldn't even talk to collaborate, and that's what's great about your project. You guys are going to be reaching out to other people to get into the museum, high end art, and I don't know. I think that's pretty kick ass.
Yeah,
thank you.
We do
appreciate
too.
That.
We think it's pretty kick ass too. And not to sound arrogant, man, but we really want to build. We're committed on building an experience, And I think
Quality
that,
experience.
yeah, a quality experience, a very high quality experience. And that's not like we've sacrificed many different things to make sure that stays the core element, is putting our community and what they experience when they come to us, and come into to buy our NFTs and come to our Meta Museum and come into our Metaverse and come to our city. We want it to be about them, and them to be satisfied. So we're proud of that. We are proud of that.
How long have you guys been working on the project now?
It's about to be 3 months, I think. It's about to be 3 months. And
I don't know. It might be more than that. What are we in?
I think it was it's 3 months, barely 3 months, dude.
Okay.
I remember when I messaged you. It wasn't that long ago, and it was crazy because I mean and honestly, I'm just being honest. It's like the most work I've ever done, and I have a full-time job. I have a family, and I sacrifice a lot of time with my kids and my wife to really push this project and to really make this quality work. And I mean, Robert could tell you when I first started, I told him, dude, I can make some sculptures in like 3 hours, and I really could, but I ended up taking more than that because I really wanted to give something that was valuable to people. And when Robert saw the quality, how it got better as time progressed, he was like, dude, we can't just push this out so quickly. We need to keep making some quality stuff. I won't just keep doing what you're doing. And that's basically what I focused on. I really I would stay up like multiple times. You have no idea how many times I stayed up to like 3 a.m. just to really try to finish this project and get everything out there.
And then you go back to work at 7 a.m. 4 hours later.
Yeah, then I would go back to work at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. sometimes, and it was hard, but I mean, I pushed through because I really I really want to build something of quality that people can truly feel proud. I know there's a money aspect to it as well, but I also do feel that the art has to it'll gravitate. People really gravitate to it, and they'll appreciate it, even regardless of the money side. They would feel proud to own that piece of art. They'll feel proud to support these artists who really put in effort in what they create. And that's another side of the coin that I feel is also very important. And I just wanted to say that. But yeah, that's it, guys.
Do you guys have any future plans for holders to maybe create some sort of DAO capabilities where they get to vote on maybe an artist that you guys are kind of maybe on the fence if you're going to let them be in the museum or not in the museum, and maybe let the holders of the holders of your NFTs decide, you know what, we really do like this guy, we're going to vote on him, we're going to bring him in and let him showcase his artwork?
We haven't planned that. We haven't structured that yet, but it is in the plans. It's your example I told you guys a little bit ago with the guys that had the open the OnlyFans app for the metaverse type thing, and I asked me if we do the red light district in our city. Well, that gets on the area of like a moral issue, and so I don't want to make that decision of whether or not we're going to do that. So a DAO would be a perfect example for something like that, where we make city decisions like a city government. With that being said, then we get into something that's contrary to decentralization almost. It can be if it's not structured correctly, especially when we're going into governance of our city and whatnot. So yeah, to answer your question, that is 100% something that we're looking at. We're talking about. It will be implemented, but at what level and how that's done yet, we don't know.
Down the road, do you have any plans to add anything like a game or maybe a native token to be combined with your project?
Definitely gamification. Gamification elements being such as one day in our city we might have some special thing where money falls down from the sky and you run around and collect it, and it gives you some sort of something, and it might be our token or something like that. Yes, we will create that. It won't be a game, but it will be gamified 100% sure.
Another thing that I was thinking of. Oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Should I clarify the difference? Well, I will. The difference between gamification and a game is, games have objectives. They have goals to complete and whatnot. We're not going to have any objectives or goals to complete or anything like that. I mean, there's a whole gaming theory. We're going to take some of those theories and apply them for the experience aspect, but not for the gameplay aspect.
I guess kind of the best way I could think of it is like Grand Theft Auto, where you don't really have to play the storyline, but you could run around and blow everybody up.
Yeah, kind of like that. That's kind of the difference between it, a game and then the gamification. Yeah, exactly.
So what social media platform for you guys has been the most efficient to get your project across to people?
Definitely Twitter. I mean, Twitter. I think we got like 16,000 followers now. We plan on growing our TikTok and our Instagram as well. We have some partners that have done that really well, and so we're going to focus on that a little bit as we move forward. We've had some great results. We've brought in some huge buyers. I mean, one guy came in at 5 Ethereum. He came from Facebook. So we've had some success there. We're talking about our Genesis collection. So we're a little bit of everywhere, but we want to hit the masses. We want to build a community, and for that respect, I think Twitter has been most effective.
So you guys haven't thought of what minting price you're going to start at when you do open, and you don't necessarily have a starting date yet, correct?
No starting date, but mint price will probably be 0.1 Ethereum. A lot of projects launch around that, higher or lower, when they're 3D and they have like a whole experience, like a video or whatnot. So that we, even though the cost of gas and it being on Ethereum and all of that, we're going for the high end for investors, people that have the money to spend. So I felt that was a fair price.
So you guys had a booth down in Miami, I see, right at the Central Con.
Yeah, that was this last week that we went there, and it was an amazing experience. It definitely was. So much feedback on our project. Everybody absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I saw that you posted the picture with Sean Kelly on there. We had him on here with us a couple weeks back. Really cool guy. Nice guy.
Yeah. Sean is a partner / advisor. He's done some promo stuff for us, and then he's helping out in some other areas.
He's definitely a good guy to have on the team with you.
Yeah. So good so far.
So somebody, let's say, just getting into NFTs, doesn't really know too much, but let's say they've done well in crypto. We'll just say they've done well. What would be the appeal for them to get into your project from the ground floor? What's the first thing that you would say to this person to sell them your project?
Yeah, so I would talk about the people who have committed to stay long term with us and what their desire is. They're normal people. Eric, who came and committed 5 Ethereum through Facebook, I got on the phone with him and talked to him. He has a normal job, working in a hospital in radiology with kids and family. And he came in and wanted to commit a large amount, and he's a holder, and so I take experiences like that. If I want to tell you why you should come in, is you come in for reasons like what he did. He wanted to play a major role in doing something powerful. We're at a pivotal moment in human history, where everybody is racing, every brand, every government, everybody. I mean, Facebook just lifted the ban on cryptocurrency advertising. That's absolutely huge. The world is changing right now, and we're at a pivotal moment, and we want people to see the vision of where the metaverse is going, where projects, what type of projects are going to last. And you need a community, you need a roadmap, you need a team, you need you need a mission. You need all of those four elements, and we have all of that. And so, if somebody's why should they come along and buy one of our NFTs and join us? Because if you've missed big opportunities before, and I'm not going to promise anything financial return or anything like that. I don't want to get myself arrested, but you guys could read between the lines. If you've heard me talk about the things that we have lined up, then you could probably take the same heart as Eric and say, I'm new to this. I haven't invested in anything yet, but you guys have all of the right elements, and I trust in you, and I want to get in. It's not my words, that those are the words of him and the 17 other people that have spent at least one Ethereum, 1 to 2 Ethereum, by buying in early.
Yeah, the first thing I noticed when I started looking through the information about your project is I noticed that you have a full team, and you don't see that a lot of times. Usually it's just the artist and maybe a dev. So that's something that definitely stuck out to me. And then I saw your OpenSea with the prices that you're selling at and the fact that you're successful with it. So those are two things for myself as an investor. If I saw it, it would gravitate me towards your project. Now, My next question is, looking through your team, I see, you have a social media manager, executive assistant, launch manager. What is Papa O? He doesn't have a title.
Oh, I love this question because he's right here. Can you pull him on?
Sure. Come on up, Papa O.
You guys, hopefully, he could get on here.
I'm bringing him up.
Okay.
Come on, Twitter.
I'm trying to bring him up.
While we're working on it, I'll start to
All right.
answer that question from my perspective. Papa
All
O
right.
is Papa O. He came into this project and uh, well, I don't know. I wanted him to tell this part, but I'll go ahead and tell it. He was actually one of our very early investors. He came in with one Ethereum because he believed in this project, and he kind of sat on the sidelines for a little while, from very early on. And he said, "Hey guys, I love what you're doing. I love what this is developing into. I want to play more of a role. I do all this live streaming stuff. This is what I do for a living. I help all these big people, and I would love to help you guys out as well because you're not doing enough lives." And I love that he was on board. I love that he loved us, and so we brought him on, and you know, I wish he could talk about his name, how he tell the story because how he came up with Papa O. I'll let him tell that, but we he's he's been detrimental to our team of just being a face and being there when the rest of us were working on everything else. Without Papa O, you could see that there's nobody that is doing the lives. I mean, we have Amanda that's running the community. We have Jessica that's doing our live stream. We have Isaac that's I mean, not a live stream, social media. We have um, which by the way, congratulations to Jessica. She's actually took a couple weeks off because she's having a baby. I just want to let that say that out here. But anyways, we have all these people doing different things, and we didn't have anybody that was really a face, and we knew it was so essential because our community needed to see us. And so we're so appreciative of Papa O coming in and being able to do that for us. And right now I'm just kind of rambling because I was trying to give him a chance to come on, but it doesn't look like it's working out. But he's an amazing person.
That's all right. That answers the question anyway. I was just curious because he was the only one on there without a title. He's with our project. He's similar to what our James is. James is called Our Voice. James the
Okay.
Voice. So kind of like the same thing. He's the face, the hype behind it. Everybody looks at him as like the face of the project when everybody's working behind the scenes. So
Correct.
I guess it's pretty much a similar thing.
And we plan on all being playing a role, just like you guys are playing a role right now on this space, and we're all going to be the face. We all want to participate and be a part of it. But yeah, he fulfills that role when the rest of us can't be there.
Awesome. If anybody has any questions, we're going to be wrapping up soon. If you want to come up and ask Rob or Isaac a couple questions, pick their brains, feel free, raise your hand. I'll bring you up to the speaker box. So, outside of art, what do you think the future of NFTs holds for us? What do you think is going to be the next frontier? Is it going to be the metaverse, or is there going to be other stuff?
Oh, you took my question.
I love this question. I hate talking so much. I want to let some of the other team talk, but like this right here is why I'm here. I mean, what else is there? I mean, we see gaming. We know gaming's a big one. That's an obvious one. I don't know if I should say. I won't say the big name, but we spoke to a guy at this last event who works for a major. I mean, probably the number one. I could say definitely top three major record label in the country or in the world, and they have a 7-year mission of taking all of their music and turning it into NFTs from all of the past. He also said that in the year 2022, which is next year, they're gonna every new album that they release, every new song that they release in the future will be on blockchain. And what they are doing with it is they're going to create it to where the artist will never be pirated. Their music will never be pirated again. You will not be able to hear the music without actually owning it, the NFT version of it. That is how you buy the music, is through. And so the music artist won't be stolen from. The record labels are going to make it fair again. It's going to change the world. And I can't say which record label that is, but it's a major record label. And that's just music. That's music. There's gaming, doctors. I believe it's going to be everywhere in every aspect of our life pretty soon.
Yep, I think it's going to be all encompassing.
Yep.
True Man Dan, do you have a question? The True Man Dan.
Yes, I do. Hello, everybody. What's going on, Rob, Isaac, Papa O? It's good to hear from all of you. My question is, I've kind of been developing a little bit of a little background in digital hosting. I heard I've been listening this whole time, and I heard like the auction house is going to have somebody who's going to be in charge of it. There's going to be narration kind of involved in the different NFTs. Is there going to be any opportunity for any performers to kind of join the team as far as any kind of necessity in like hosting or anything like that?
For you, 100%, man. You've been along for our journey from almost day one. 100%. Just hit us up, and not just you, anybody. You hear on this space. We're open for collaboration. That's how we're gonna get this done. Is brilliant minds working together to work on it. It's not just about us. It's about the metaverse. So yeah,
Daniel,
anybody.
You got a whitelist in that spot, bro.
Oh, sweet, man. Thanks.
Yeah. Are you guys able to hear me now or not?
I hear you, Papa O.
Oh my goodness, that was fun to get in on that. Jeez. I'm here now, boys. I got you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, because you're the one person I wanted to really speak to.
Go, Papa
Me and
O.
Isaac were shocked. I think. Well, I was, anyways. I was like, that was not what I was expecting to hear when we asked him to tell us how he came up with that name.
Yeah, I was laughing my ass off, man. That was funny.
Yeah, so we're literally walking in Miami down the beach. Isaac wanted to go jump into the water, so at the event down in Miami, and they're like, "How did you come up with Papa O?" And I was like, "Well, you guys ever hear of Fortnite?" And yeah, okay. And so I was playing Fortnite with my son, and he introduced it to me, and I suck at the game, but I love it. And so we're playing this game, and I had the username of "You Are a Success." And none of the little kids could catch on to it. It was the letter U, the letter R, the letter A, success. And it just couldn't catch on to it. So I switched my username to Papa O, and I'll be darned, those kids just loved it. And then it was like you go into the squads, you're out there, you're fighting, and you're doing your thing with the squads. And you're like, protect Papa O, don't let them get Papa O. And so whenever, we started, I've been investing in crypto for a few years now. And as this NFT stuff started coming about, I realized, well, I'm a little bit older than everybody else that's in this space. I'm like, why don't I just run with Papa O in the NFT space and kind of present myself a little bit? Hey, I'm older than most of the people in this space. That's okay. Just call me Papa O and I'll take care of everybody.
Makes sense. I get it. All because of Fortnite.
It's all because of Fortnite.
Yeah. So he told that first line. He actually said, "So I was playing Fortnite with my son," and that was the first line actually. Like,
yeah, and it's
expected.
Yeah, and there's a little bit more to it. In my local market, I have a few restaurants that are under my name of Papa O as well. So there's a branding thing to the whole concept.
And that's why we went with that with our team. Is he was telling me that, and it was his branding, and it's, to be straight up. This metaverse crypto crowd, a lot of it is built by a younger crowd, and so it was fitting. It was fitting for him to come in as Papa O.
Very cool. Hey, Daniel, you have a question for the guys? Daniel.
Hi. I know you guys are still going on in this project, but I had a question for Isaac since he's the artist. Do you have any, ideas for your next curation project?
Well, we're kind of want to move into the whole celebrity gallery, and we kind of want to jump into that. But one of the projects I do want to do later on in the future is definitely an alien project. Like I've always loved aliens, and just basically want to create my own my own alien that could be basically popular in the metaverse. So that's something that I definitely want to jump into, and I know people will really love it, man.
So
Also, real quick, let me finish something real quick. Also, our writer Craig, I would love for him to also create a whole like story around these aliens, so it could be like a really, really badass project, man. But yeah, definitely, that's all I wanted to say.
Yes. Well, so I'm doing a project where I scan people, and then upload them to the metaverse. I'm scanning like famous UFC fighters and music artists and stuff like that. And so I think that, especially if you're doing some kind of museum, I think we could definitely collaborate in one way or another.
Hit us up.
In that aspect.
Yeah, for sure. I've been seeing the little app on like Facebook or Instagram. They're targeting me where you could scan somebody or scan anything and create a 3D object with it. I thought
are they getting you too with the Peel 3D?
Same, bro.
Yeah, but
man.
I come from the commerce space, and I'm like, I could go find that thing half the price in China. I could go work directly with the factory, but I love the concept of it.
Good luck, man. I tried, so it took a month to get in, and the company itself wants over $9,000 for it, and you can go to a secondhand distributor and get it for $78.70 if you work a deal with them.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you got it figured out. Hit us up for sure.
Yeah. Well, and then also, I was wondering, you guys are very, very focused on the metaverse. Have you thought about what tools are going to be most commonly used to interact with these metaverses, and what you expect that technology to look like?
So I think the first frontier that I think is gonna be here is it's gonna be the AR glasses, And one of the people we connected with, which is this girl, she had actually been developing, her and her team had somehow developed some sort of AR glasses that they were basically previewing for a lot of people out there at DecentralCon, and it was freaking awesome. And I put them on, and I mean I could see everything around me, but then I could see a dragon flying towards me, and I was like mind blown. So I was like, and then when I showed her our sculptures in the AR, she instantly was like, we need to connect, we need to get, I'm gonna give you my number, and I could give you a preview, a bigger preview for your team, and we could do something big. So I definitely think the AR is gonna be one of the first frontiers, and then eventually we're gonna move into the whole VR. Even though, which is crazy, I've so far around me, I mean that's just my opinion, but so far around me I've had people that that I would never thought would be interested in like VR glasses. Like my parents, they literally bought VR glasses the day I showed them my Oculus, and then I had other friends of mine who their parents or they themselves were already buying the Oculus. So I can already see maybe in like the next, I don't know, 5 years, it's either going to be the AR or the VR that's just going to be out there,
Yeah. Thanks for the answer. I think it's going to be both, AR and VR.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely.
So, anybody else have any questions for the guys? Especially Papa O?
If there's no questions coming in, I will put something out to your community that is something that I really want everybody to understand of what's going on in this space right now, and why I reached out to Robert in the early stages. Whatever skill set you have in regards to whatever you do in life, if it in any way, shape, or form you feel can benefit a project, you need to reach out to these individuals. If you're involved in Discords and you're involved in all these different things that are happening, and you see there's a need for a project, reach out to them and say, hey, I'm looking to help out. Is there anything that I can do to help you guys out? It's a very important thing there, guys. I'm telling you, there's so much opportunity right now to help out these projects, not only from an investment standpoint. Of course, I came into this project as an investor first and foremost, but when I saw they were missing that, the fact that you need to be in front of the audience on a consistent basis and communicating with them, building the relationship with them, hey, I can do that. Let's do that. So for you, any one of you that are on this call right now, jump in on the projects that you're excited about and offer some assistance there. And I'm telling you what, you more than likely might be able to get yourself into an opportunity that you never saw before. But you have to have the confidence in yourself and just make it happen. Reach out and say, hey, man, let's do something.
I agree 100%. You never know until you give it a shot.
Facts.
All right. Well, we've been here for about an hour and 10 minutes. I guess we'll get ready to wrap up. I just want to thank you guys for coming out here and talking to the people. The website for these guys is getzodiac.art. Check it out. Really cool stuff. I mean, you guys have one of the more unique projects that I've seen so far, and I talked to a lot of people. So, I mean, you have every type of element. You have the art element, the 3D element, you have the auction house, you have the museum, you have the metaverse. You're kind of tapping into every single spot that you could tap into in the NFT space right now. You even have music tied in and story time. So, I mean, I don't know what else there is that you guys could put in here to make it even more complete, but I have to say that you guys are doing a great job. And I just want
Thank you.
thank you
It
for
feels
coming.
good hearing you recognize all that.
Thank you.
Just checking off the boxes of
I
what you
appreciate
see.
that, man.
I couldn't hear what you said, Rob. I'm sorry.
I was just saying it feels good to hear you say that, because that's what we're going for, and to hear you like acknowledge that, it gives us confidence as a team. Each time somebody says that, that we're on the right track. So thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And yeah, if you guys know any other artists that you want to talk to and see if they want to come on with us, feel free to shoot our name out to them. We'll also refer people out to you guys. If somebody's looking for a partnership or a collaboration, I'll make sure to pass the word along to you guys too. And yeah, let's all work together and make this thing work for everybody.
Definitely, man. I appreciate that as well. And
Awesome.
we'll get to it, man.
All right, guys.
Yeah, thank you for having us on.
Yeah, thank you for coming, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. And if I don't talk to you before then, have a happy holidays, you and your family. And
Likewise.
Papa O, you're the man.
Thanks, man.